Ooh, here we go. That looks different on my phone now, at least. Okay, we're up and running. Woohoo! Good evening. Happy Sunday. I'm a little late. Thank you for your patience. This is Tara with Tarabeth Stamps. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Ooh. Let me turn that mute on. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here in mid-Missouri, and we got it up and running. Thank you for bearing with me. So tonight's card is the last card in my Christmas in July. Yes, I can see the comments. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, guys, all of you. Yay. Hey, Amy, thanks for joining. So tonight's my last Christmas in July card that I'm doing on my Sunday thing. So once again, with Christmas, I love to give gift cards. So I made one gift card earlier, and we're going to do another one tonight. So I've been trying to feature some different sets that are available in the online exclusives, as well as this is one that's coming up in the September to December mini catalog. So we were able to purchase this a little bit early. And so this is the Wintry Treetops suite. It has nested Nests of Winter DSP. And so here it is. I've done a gift card like this. Normally I do it like this so that it opens up and you can put that gift card there. So on this one, I turned it sideways and I created this accordion fold where you can put that gift card right in the center. So we're going to get to it. Thanks for your patience. Hopefully. Oh, good. I'm glad you guys like it. Okay, so this is a really simple card that I feel like is pretty impressive. So the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to get the stamping out of the way. So I'm pulling out a piece, my Mossy Meadow ink pad, and I have, once again, a beautiful sentiment from the online exclusive Greetings of the Season. So I think I've used this every week with my Christmas cards. It's absolutely stunning. So this is a piece of 3 1/8 by 4 3/8 piece of basic white. And we're just going to ink this up. This is going on the center, and that's with some Mossy Meadow ink. And we're just going to stamp it right there. And then while we're at it, I'm going to look for my die cut, which I don't see. Oh, there it is. I've kind of sloshed everything around. So I have a piece of basic white, and I pulled just the very tiny sentiment from Happy Little Things. So this says A Peaceful Season. So you can kind of mix and match some of these to make some really pretty sentiments. And I do like just this bold little font. And I felt like it matched the font here on the inside. So I'm just going to do a quick little stamp on this white die cut, and this is from the Happy Little Things dies. So those are two really great dies that you get with this one little set, and I think they're an online exclusive, and I think they're really great. So quite honestly, that's the only stamping that we're going to do. I'm going to set those out of the way, and we're going to start creating the card front. Okay, so I have a piece of 4 by 5 1/4 piece of the Nests of Winter DSP that I'm just going to adhere to an early espresso mat. So I'm going to give this, adhere this, and I'm just creating that little edge that we like so much with our mats to kind of make our DSP pop. All right, now we're going to adhere those layers to just a regular 5 1/2 by 4 1/4 piece of gray granite. So the coordinating colors with this was definitely gray granite. Early espresso was not listed, but I always think when we're dealing with trees, that's a perfect one to do. All right, so this is going to be our card base. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out my Simply Score tool. I love this DSP too. I think it's absolutely stunning. All right, my Simply Score tool, and I have a 4 1/2 by 9 3/4 piece of DSP. And I'm just going to take my score tool. Oh, this is 11. I don't have the right piece of, let me look here. Yep, 5.5. I didn't cut off my last portion here. So let's do that. I normally do quick math and I just cut off the short side, but I can't do that quick math in my head while I'm doing a live. So, all right. So this is, ooh, sorry, that was probably loud. Get that out of the way. So now this is 9 3/4, and we're gonna score at 3 1/4 with our Simply Score tool or board, and then we're gonna score at 6 1/2. And all these dimensions will be on my blog tomorrow with the directions as well. All right, so that's all we have to score tonight. Thanks, Rosie. Yeah, if you like the video, definitely give me a shout or a click and subscribe. Okay, so that we're gonna fold this in accordion fashion. So I'm just gonna fold in one time and give a nice burnish. And then I'm gonna fold back, and that's creating that accordion look. So you have this little guy here. Okay, so we may as well go ahead and put the inside panel in there and adhere that with a little Stampin' Seal. Make sure I've got my edges set up there. Now I have a piece of, let's see here, this is 2 by 3 piece of that DSP, and I'm going to bring in the curled labeled punch, and I'm going to make sure that I'm setting this up correctly. I don't want my birds dancing upside down. And I'm just going to kind of slide this in here, and I'm going to take it right to this lip, and I'm going to punch that out. The cool thing about this is about 3 inch wide, so you can hold it, and that way you get it nice on both edges. So that's a nice little lip for our gift card. I'll set this out of the way. Now, I like to do this with tear tape. And the reason I do it with tear tape is because it adheres it really well without going too far over. You can use liquid adhesive, you can use seal, but this is a little narrower than seal. And when you don't have a huge area for that gift card to be sticking out. All right, I'm gonna pull this off the tear tape. And that's just gonna expose that sticky edge. So I use a lot of different adhesives as in my arsenal. I use just a little bit of everything. Okay, I'm gonna create that nice lip on each side. And here we go. And now our gift card will slide right into it. There we go. So see, that's perfectly ready for your gift card. Okay, now I could use that same tear tape, but once again, I'm going to use Stampin' Seal on this. And ooh, this is a little crooked. The reason that I do that is because it's a little stronger. And with these fun folds, I like to have a strong adhesive to hold it on when people are going to be moving that flap around a lot. So I'm going to set this on the front. I'm not going to push it down because I just want to make sure that it's nice. Oops, I did a little spit there. It's nice and even on each side before I press it down. So there we go. Okay, there it is. I've got another piece of, look how pretty this is. So there's no dies for this, but there's definitely some fussy cutting that can be done. Not me, because I'm not a fussy cutter, unless I really, really want to. But I love this side. Now I did get something on this, but we're covering most of it up, so it'll be fine. Put that on there. I have a piece of basic white that I cut with the online exclusives, greeting of the seasons dies. I was just going to show them to you. So this is the dies that go along with that beautiful sentiment stamp that you have to have for Christmas. This is going to be the go-to one, but there's great little sentiment dies that are perfect for all your cards. Okay, now I have my black and very vanilla large checker ribbon that I'm just going to cut a small piece of. And I'm going to try to remember. I liked it one way over the other. So we're going to put it in here and hopefully that's the way it goes. And if not, we'll redo it. Yep. So I'm going to feed it from the back to give me the bow, the look I want on the front. All right, so I'm going to loop that in there, feed that in, and then pull it taut. All right, so there we go. Now definitely these tags are a little too long. Julianne, you're not a fussy cutter either. Yeah, I'm terrible at it. All right. So I'm going to take some Stampin' Dimensionals and I'm just going to add about 5. 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom, and then 1 in the middle. And that's going to keep this tag pretty much secure in where I want it at. So I'm going to line it up. And there we go. Now, because you're opening up this way, you don't really have to worry about if this tag hangs off because it's going to be inside the envelope because you've got this edge. So now we can go ahead and cut our tails off here. I think I'm going to go that direction. Oh, I think I'm going to go this direction and then this direction. There we go. Get rid of that. And now we're ready to build our fret. So the first thing I'm going to place is I'm going to place this seasonal wreath here. So this is a branch wreath. And this came from the encircled. I used everything but the kitchen sink on this card, you guys. Everything but the kitchen sink. So I pulled out my encircled with nature dies. And these are pretty cool. Don't drop it. There we go. Because it creates this. So you can do a whole solid one, or you could do a smaller one, or you can do this outlined look. And what you have to do is you have to line it up before you cut it with these tabs connect or in the same spot. So if you line those up, that creates this whole look without kind of moving around and rotating and try to figure it out. So Stampin' Up has taken all of the guesswork out for us and made it super easy. So I'm going to adhere this to the card front, but I've got to cut some little bitty dimensionals. Oops. Some little narrow guys. Now there are some foam strips, and yes, I have them. Don't ask me where they're at because I don't know. All right, there's that one. And then we'll just put this one there. So it doesn't have to be too secure because, there we go. We're going to be putting a lot more things on it. So I'm probably going to rotate this up because I've got that foam point poking out and I know that's going to be covered up. So here's our circle. Now I need to, ooh, I forgot to color my thing or stamp my swag wreath, my wreath swag. And I have it out, I just don't have it done. Okay, so I lied. We're not done stamping. So I'm going to ink this swag up with some Memento ink. And we're going to stamp it on just a piece of basic white. I'm going to pull out some blends. And because these leaves are pretty small, I'm not really using the blends the way you want to. I'm definitely using the Memento ink, but I'm just coloring one leaf with the dark mossy, no, these are old olive, with the dark old olive, and then I'm going to do this other leaves, smaller leaves with the light. So when we blend, you're taking more than one color because these are alcohol markers, and you get really beautiful blending to create beautiful colors that variegate. But with these little bitty ones, you have to be careful because that alcohol ink really, even when you're using the bullet point end, is still pretty thick. So for these little bitty stamped areas, you really can't do much blending. If you're going to do a lot, it's going to take a lot of patience, and you're really going to have to let that dry. Otherwise, the ink's going to run out of the lines pretty quickly. So I'm just doing a real quick color here. I'm pretty excited. We got, as a demonstrator, I got to see the upcoming upcoming mini catalog this week. We have a lot of really beautiful items, and I get to order them next week. So I've got my list. I'm getting ready. I am going to do a product share again for this catalog. So stay tuned to my blog and Facebook for that information. Okay, I'm just doing a real quick color of the berries with my cherry cobbler. If you're not familiar with what a paper share or a product share is, I buy all of the consumables and then I cut them up into small sample sizes so you have enough to make a couple of cards. You'll have the ribbons, the embellishments, and it allows you to get kind of a sampling before you decide what you absolutely can't live without. Okay, I'm going to bring my mini cut and emboss machine out. I'm going to dig for my little plates here. And I'm going to pull out my die from the wintry treetops. I'm going to line this up. I use this mini die cut machine all the time. It's perfect to sit on your desk. If you don't have one, you need to add that to your Christmas list. Okay, we're going to give a little cut here. I'm going to pull this out of the way. And there we go. There's our swag. Okay. We will add that to the top here. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to add a couple of dimensionals. And what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to cut these dimensionals in half. And just put them on the bottom here. That way, it'll definitely stick, but it won't be interfering with that branch. Okay. Now I did end up sticking that one out just a little bit. So I'm going to take my scissors and just do a little pokey, and that sticks that out further. Okay. One of my favorite things about Stampin' Up's DSP is when it cuts, the die cuts cut the DSP. So I cut this bird, this bird and branch image with the berries from the die cuts, or from the dies. And now I'm just going to take a couple of dimensionals and slap that on, and we are just about done. Okay, I'm going to feed that under. And decide there we want it. Okay. Just about done. So the DSP and the die cuts, it doesn't just cut this bird set, it also cuts this one. So what I did today is I basically just cut half of the DSP, and I just went ahead and cut them all out. And I'm going to put them in an envelope in my die cuts so that I'll have them in the future when I need them. Okay, as I said, I used everything but the kitchen sink on this. So I cut the Celebrate from the Just Wanna Say. Now, the little intricate one, I did use Stampin' Up's masking sheets. Now, if you're not familiar with these, they come in a 6x12. Is that 6? Yep, 6x12. And so you just cut just a little piece, and this will last you forever and ever and ever. I think I've maybe used a sheet and a half in 3 years. So it's a really good buy. But you can use it on these little intricate dies. Now, I'm going to be very careful and try to peel this off without bending the die cut. So that is, see how that's bending up? So you have to just be slow and steady because you want it to stay in place the way it is. So there's half of it. Now let's do this other half. So I'm starting out with the E instead of the C because the C has a really bad habit of curling up. Now you can use liquid adhesive in a silicone mat, but I like this a little bit better because then you don't have that adhesive sticking out. All right, just gonna line these up. Not really pushing them down yet because I want to make sure my placement is perfect. And that's when one of these little stick tools works really well because it'll allow you to pull it down, kind of see where you want it to lay before you stick that final. There we go. All right, now I'm going to take, how do we want this? I want that right about there. So we'll just use a couple of half dimensionals up here. And then maybe we'll do another half. There's one. Nope. Come on. Holy smokes. That cover's not wanting to come off. It's like on there for good. There we go. All right. I'm going to go ahead and put just a little bit of a liquid adhesive, and that way it'll adhere to the branch wreath. All right, let's see here. Put it right there. Now, I've got my last little piece here, and I'm going to use tweezers because these guys are getting little and intricate. So this is definitely one of those cards. You're not going to be mass producing this, baby. This is one that you're not going to mass produce at all. This is a special person's card. So I'm going to lean that up there. I feel like I need a dimensional on this side. Not liquid adhesive. All right. So yeah, this is going to be, there we go. All right, let's finish it off here with a couple of embellishments. I used some of the iridescent foil, guys, gems. Let's do one here. Put one right there. Oops. maybe one, do one right there. All right, so here is another gift card holding card. Here we go. Fold it out, nice little accordion fold. I think this one is stunning with this paper. This paper really, when I first got it, I had to warm up to it. I feel like I'm needing to warm up to a lot just because we have so many great things out there that I love so much that I'm having a hard time loving the new stuff. But once I love it, that's it. So give it a little glue on that flap. It looks like you guys are really enjoying tonight's card. Thank you so much for watching my very first YouTube live. Looks like we'll be doing this every Sunday night at 7 o'clock. Hopefully next week goes a little bit smoother. I appreciate your patience as always. If you've got any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. And you guys have an amazing week. Thanks.